Good morning, YouTube. It's 11:07 on Friday, November, I don't know, 16th, 17th, something like that. Wait, what did it say? 18th. I'm going to winterize my boat today. And I just wanted you to see the time because I'm going to show you how long it takes from start to finish to winterize this boat. This boat has twin Horizon V8s, or the 454s. They're inboards, so the shafts and transmissions are here, and the shafts come out the back. And it has sea strainers to bring raw water in from the river, or ocean or lake, whatever you're going on. I'm in a river. So a couple things we're going to do today. If you didn't watch, right before this video, I made another video where I replaced the impeller in my generator because it was going bad towards the end of the season, and I had to replace it. And we're going to winterize that. We're going to winterize these two motors, and we're going to winterize my water system, and we're going to winterize the air conditioning system. I went ahead and got started on a couple of things. For my air conditioner, I need a hose that I use coming off the sea strainer. I use this a small hose that goes into it, and then I can put that in a 1-gallon jug of antifreeze to make my life easier. So I went ahead and made sure that hose was there. I usually just keep it right in that same compartment. Another thing I did was just loosen up these hose clamps on these hoses, and I noticed that this one only has one. So there's a broken one in my bilge somewhere, but you should definitely have 2 hose clamps on every hose that has water in it. So anyways, I loosened those up so we can do that. I got antifreeze on my swim platform back there, and a funnel with a long hose on it that I use for these motors. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get the antifreeze in here, and we'll get these motors done. So stand by. Alright, with the hoses disconnected from the sea strainers, I run this plastic hose. Goes on like your sump pump, fits over that hose perfectly, up to a big funnel, and then up to the dashboard, where I fill it with antifreeze, fire the motor up, and add about 3 gallons. The only reason I run 3 gallons through this motor is because it's closed cooling, so my engine block has antifreeze in it. The only part that gets water is the exhaust. I also have dripless shafts. So the way dripless shafts work is on the bottom of your exhaust there's a small hose that goes to the packing, and that lubricates the shaft. So when I shut my boat off, my exhaust actually empties. These drain out in the water, so I'm pretty much dry right now, so we're just kind of adding antifreeze to it just to kind of push the rest of the water through. So I'm going to go up to the helm, and we're going to show you how to do this. Alright, I have the hose hooked over to the starboard motor. I'll go ahead and put half of one of these in, fire it up, and then add the other ones. So let me set you up. Think you can see that? Yeah, looks good. We're going to go ahead and fire up my port. Try giving a little throttle on this time, see if it stays running. Nope. Anyways, not a big deal. It's gonna take it all. that's it. So they're both winterized. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this hose off, and I'm going to show you. You got to winterize, not winterize, but you got to empty your sea strainers. Alright, well that's winterized, so now we got to go do my sea strainers. Sea strainers, that's what draws the water up from the river, or lake or ocean, whatever you're going in. I keep saying river because that's where I'm at, but it's this canister right here, and has glass sides on it. Okay, and then there's what's your sea strainer, and it catches all your seaweed and stuff like that. The intake hose is right here, draws it up from through the hull, fills this container, and then when it gets to the top, it goes into the motor. Well, if I were to leave that thing there, that glass container would be full of water, even with the sea strainer open, because the inlet and the exit are on the top. So what we got to do is, I got to take these two wing nuts off the top, and that will enable me to just kind of jiggle that canister free, and all the water will spill out the bottom. And then I'll just take a little bit of antifreeze and just dump it in there, just a tiny little bit. So what we do here is, I guess I don't need to talk about it, I can just do it with one hand. These wing nuts come off here. Alright. One of these. Okay, this one just stays loose, like that. This one here flips over. Lets your canister up like this. And the sea strainer comes out. My sea strainer's got a bunch of crap in it, so we gotta clean that out. So anyways, that didn't work. I gotta loosen these 4 nuts here. Just loosen these 4 nuts, and that'll let the water drain out the bottom. There's a drain plug on the bottom, but you know, you can't, it's hard to see. But you know, let me take a look at this real quick and see which one I'd rather do. So hang on. Nah, never mind, we'll just do it the proper way. Mine happens to be a 7/16 inch little brass plug at the bottom of this thing. And I'm going to need 2 hands so I don't drop this in the bilge, but I'll pop that out and show you. Alright, so brass plugs on the bottom of this thing. You'll just see once I loosen it. Yeah, okay, so there's seaweed stuck in it. Let me grab something to poke up through the hole. Alright, let's see if I can get this. Come on, where are you? Got it? There it is. Okay. Just a little corrosion or seaweed or junk gets in there. And then, yeah, so we drain this thing out like that. And once we get it drained, I'll put the plug back in it, and then we'll put a little antifreeze in there. So yeah. So it's almost done, and yep, there it is. So it's empty. Here's the hole down there. See if you'll focus. You won't. Anyways, there's the hole. So go ahead and put some antifreeze in, or put the plug in, put some antifreeze in. Alright, with the hose off the out on the sea strainer for the generator, this hose here, this comes up through the hull, and this comes out of here to a black hose that runs over to the generator. And I put that hose right in a bottle of antifreeze. And then there's a starter button on here, so you just start this thing. And watch antifreeze go down. Once you get it down to a good area, that's it. That generator is now winterized. It's got this little teeny tiny muffler on it, and you know, there's not a lot of water that runs through here, so I'll go over the side of the boat. You'll see that there'll be pink stuff all over the ground with soap suds in it because of the impeller I just replaced. So okay, so the generator is done, both motors are done. Now to the water system and air conditioner. I'll show you that in a second. Forgot to mention, I want to make sure that sea strainer is empty with water too. I went in there and actually had to pull my strainer up to get to the plugs because my hand couldn't get under there. But anyways, got the plug out, got that emptied out, a little antifreeze in there. I put those lines on tight and sturdy because I'm not going to test fire this thing in the spring. That can just go in the water, and we'll fire it up in the water. So that's ready to go for the spring. These ones, of course, the clamps aren't on it because I'm going to pull those hoses off in the spring and replace this one because it's got some dry rotting on it. Might as well replace both of them. And always run this thing in the driveway on a hose for a while before I put it in the water, just in case there's any issues. So that'll stay off there for now. So anyways, we're done down here. Now we're going to go do the water system. Alright, so what I've done, when you want to winterize your water system, first thing you want to do is get your tank pretty close to empty. It doesn't need to be completely empty, just till the faucets just start to spit. And now I got a hot line and a cold line going into my water heater. What I'm going to do is I take those lines off and I bypass them, and I put a hose in between the two, and then I turn that drain on there, and that drains the water heater. And that's all you need to do to winterize your water heater. So now that these two lines are connected, I can go ahead and put a couple gallons in the holding tank and turn on the pressure, and we'll get pink through the line. So anyway. Alright, I turned the water pressure back on. Now we're going to go ahead and turn the faucet on. First thing you're going to get is cold water, or the clear water coming out of the tank. And then as it pushes this clear water through, you're going to start to see the pink come through. See how the pink is coming through now? That's what antifreeze does. It pushes water. Okay, so here we're going to turn this on. Little pink that's in the line goes to clear water, that's to the hot water line. Once we get through that, little air pocket in between, and then the pink comes out. Alright, so now that's good. So this faucet's good. Now we go into the head, and we do the same thing. You just hit the water here, and now the pink comes out. Pink comes out for a second there. Shut that off. It's going to push through the line. Now we're going to get clear water and hit the air, and then the pink comes through. Alright, so that's good. For the toilet, I'm just hooked up to fresh water. So I'm not pulling any water out of the river. It's coming from my holding tank. So there you go. I didn't push it down too much. I don't want to splash. Alright, so these three faucets are done. Now we come up here and go to my wet bar. Do the same thing. Turn this on. Get some air, and then the pink. So that's good. Come back here. This is my transom shower. You open it. 1 minute left on my battery, so that's awesome. Can't even show you the air conditioner, but air conditioner does the same thing. I just unhook a line. Let me pull this out. Alright. Clear. This is a long line, so it takes a minute. And pink. Alright. Shut that off. Alright, so I have the pump hooked up to a bottle here, and I'm just going to hit the heat, and we're going to get this to run through. That's it. Alright, well, we're winterized. I gotta go charge this battery and we'll recap what's going on here. But it is, what can we see here? Holy crap. Can you see? 12:55. So what do we do? 2 hours? Not too bad after people coming and talking to me and a phone ringing and some various issues, but battery's about to die. I'm going to charge it and recap real quick.